We don't escape from the job of introspection lightly. There is almost always a high price to pay for our reluctance to look within. Feelings and desires that have not been examined tend not to leave us alone. They linger and spread their energy randomly to neighboring issues. Ambition that doesn't know itself comes out as anxiety. Envy comes out as bitterness. Anger turns into rage. Sadness evolves into depression. Disavowed material buckles and strains the system. We develop pernicious tics, a facial twitch, impotence, an incapacity to work, alcoholism, a porn compulsion. Most so-called addictions are at heart symptoms of insistent, difficult feelings that we haven't found a way to address. Insomnia is revenge for thoughts that we have refused to have in the day. Strangers to ourselves, we end up making bad choices. We exit a relationship that might have been quite workable. We don't explore our professional talents in time. We alienate friends through erratic, off-putting behavior. We lack insight into how we come across to others and appall or shock them. We buy the wrong things and go on holiday to places that have little to do with what we really enjoy. It is no coincidence that Socrates should have boiled down the entire wisdom of philosophy to one simple command: know yourself. This is a distinctly odd-sounding ambition. Society has no shortage of people and organizations offering to guide us around distant continents, but very few that will help us with the arguably far more important task of travelling around the byways of our own minds. Fortunately, however, there are a number of tools and practices that can help us to reach inside our minds and move us from dangerous vagueness to challenging but redeeming clarity. Chapter 2. Philosophical Meditation. Insofar as society encourages us to spend time in our minds, it allots particular prestige to a set of practices collectively referred to by the term meditation. Adherents of meditation typically recommend that we sit in a particular position and strive to empty our consciousness of its normal medley of feelings and ideas. We should still the agitations of what the Buddhists have evocatively termed our monkey minds in a bid for serenity. There is another approach to consider, not based on Eastern thought, but on ideas that have come down to us from the Western philosophical tradition. We term it philosophical meditation, a practice with the premise that a decisive share of the trouble in our minds comes from thoughts and feelings that have not been untangled, examined, and confronted with sufficient attention. Philosophical meditation needs a time of day when nothing much will be expected of us. We might be in bed or on the sofa, alone with a notepad and pen. Key to the practice are 3 well-angled questions. What am I presently anxious about? What am I presently upset about? What am I presently excited about? Anxiety. We start the philosophical meditation by asking, what am I presently anxious about? Life is generally far more alarming than we allow ourselves to accept. We constantly have to navigate an uncertain world. We are permanent hostages to the whims of fortune. Every minute of the waking day, a skittish radar in one part of our minds is scanning the vast, partly misty horizon and noting new sources of uncertainty and risk. What will the meeting be like? When do we need to leave? What happened with the letters? Where are we going to be 5 years from now? Where is the nearest bathroom? We are never more than one piece of bad luck away from a stroke, disgrace, or ruin. During our meditative session, we need to give all our anxieties a chance to understand themselves. For 3/4 of our agitation is not that there are things to worry about, but that we haven't given our worries the time they require to be understood and diffused. Only by being listened to can anxieties be drained of some of their intensity. If we were to record our own stream of consciousness in moods of agitation, the result would tumble out in chaotic confusion. The biscuits thing all over again. Why? Idiot. God, the soul deal. They can't do it. I have to do it. The bathroom, now. I can't do it at 10:30 tomorrow with Luke. Why get myself into this? The stupid invoice. Why me? My fault.
Para seguir escuchando este audiolibro gratuitamente, haz clic en el enlace de la descripción y podrás escucharlo completo sin coste gracias a la prueba de 30 días de Audible.